use the hydraulic system, sir. He goes, they didn't use it, sir, because they don't know what the hell they're doing, sir. And they were having a huge problem with the elevators because when they're magnetized, it's very delicate. And when they break, nobody knows how to fix them. Can you imagine you're in a battle, Louis, and you need your planes up on the deck fast? And they say, well, the water's a little rough today. The elevators got hit by a couple of drops of water, and now they're out. That's where we are. So it's just one other thing. They built the aircraft carrier differently. They put the cabin, the tower, not in the middle. You know the way it's shaped this way, right? He would know exactly what I'm talking about. Steve, you would know too. It's shaped this way, right? And the hardest thing for a pilot to do, great pilots, the hardest thing to do is land a plane on an aircraft carrier. And some of the best pilots in the world can't do it because they're claustrophobic a little bit. You don't want to be a pilot, even if you're really good, if you're claustrophobic. Not if you're landing in the middle of the sea. And as big as that aircraft carrier is, when you're up there going at 1,000 miles an hour, looking for your aircraft carrier, and then you spot a little, like an ant in the ocean. It's big when you're next to it, but it's not big when you're up there. And you got to land that thing on a little tiny deck, as big as it looks, it's tiny. Those are the most talented people. So what they did is they built the aircraft carrier, and they decided to put the tower, you know, the tower where the admiral is and the captain, and they're all, you know, they're talking to all the other ships that are surrounding it, make it safe. Beautiful scene, like the Roosevelt and others. Beautiful, beautiful ships. But I said, what the hell, why do you have this tower in the back? Well, sir, that's the way we decided. Nobody could tell me why. I said, but I knew a lot about the landings and the pilots and the talent. And you have actually some great pilots, they just can't do that. They just can't do it. They cannot land on an aircraft carrier for reasons. I mean, you know, they can't do it. They may be better than some of the pilots that can land, but they can't do it. So I said, when you move it to the back, doesn't that create a problem for the pilots? Because that's back there, you got to land it. That means you're landing like you got to miss that tower on top of everything else. You could have more deck space in the back, right? Yes, sir, that's right. I said, who was the architect of this ship? So I called the people, the admiral. I said, I'd like to meet with the architect. I said, could I ask you one question? Yes. Now, you understand, this is the largest ship in the world. This is like Kennedy Airport in New York. We wish we had runways that big, right? I said, may I ask you one question? And I don't mean to be rude. Yes, sir. Have you ever designed a ship before? And he said, well, I worked on a couple. Now, these people are, this is crazy, Wesley. You could look at things that they do. And I said, I have one more question. Why do you have this room on the bottom, these very unusually shaped rooms? Sir, that's where we store ammunition. I said, so you store all of your ammunition under the tower. How does the captain feel about that? Okay. And the truth is they made a mistake, but nobody ever talked about it. I said, why do you store them? I mean, this guy's gone. If that'll be the first place they aim. They used to have it in different compartments all over the place so people couldn't figure it. The whole thing is under the tower. Now, maybe by now they change it. But they had it was supposed to cost $3 billion or less. And I think it ended up at $18 billion for one ship that's improperly designed. It's very sad. And I caught a lot of things. And fortunately, some of them I was able to do a lot about, like, don't build it this way anymore. I put out an order, only hydraulic elevators, only steam catapults. But some idiot, some egghead probably would override that now, you know, because those are different. But I tell you these stories because it has to do with what you do, Mario, because it's the same thing. It's common sense. A lot of what we do is common sense. People say, are you a conservative? No, I'm a conservative, but I'm a person with great common sense, like 95% of this audience, not 100%.